Hello friends, welcome back. So today let us learn to create pivot tables and pivot charts in less than 5 minutes. So what is pivot table? A pivot table is an interactive way to summarize a large amount of data. Also we can easily create the subtotal and aggregate the numeric values. And we can also create the categories and subcategories. So to create the pivot table, we need to click on Insert, Pivot Table. You will see automatically the data range will be selected, the entire table will be selected, and you will see by default the option will be new worksheet. So either you can keep this option or you can select the existing worksheet, but I always prefer to have the new worksheet. So I'll click OK. So automatically the new worksheet will be created and we will see the pivot table options. So what do we have here? So we have all the pivot table fields. We have month, category, expenses. We have filters, we have columns, we have rows, and we have values. So it is very easy to create the pivot table. You just need to click on month. You will see in column A we see all the months. We click on category. Automatically you will see in column A we have categories: food, furniture, grocery, household, transport. We have summary of all the categories. Now I'll click on expenses. So you'll see automatically the expenses will go in the values because these are numerical values. Pivot table will automatically identify that this has to come in the values. And we can see for each month we have the summary of the expenses against each category. So this is one simple way to create the pivot table, but there are a lot of more options. So I'll uncheck all the options so our pivot table will be clear. So another way is I can drag and drop the pivot table. I can drag and drop the field. So I'll select the month in the rows. I have option to drag the category in columns. So you will get a different view. I'll give the expenses in values. So this always will come in values because these are the numerical values. So we will see all the values are automatically categorized under each bucket. And we can see how much we spent for baking. It is overall $250. For color it is $8,000. For cooking it is $3,600. We can also see for each of month how much we spent in each of the category. Another thing we can do is we can also apply the filters. So suppose I remove the category from columns and I'll include in the filters. So you will see in row number 1 I have filter of the category. I'll just click on the drop down. I'll get options of each of the category. So either I can select a particular category or I can select multiple items, and I can select 3 or 4 categories, and when I click OK, you will see the expenses. It will show only for the selected categories. It will not show the expenses for all the categories. So this is one option we can try. Another thing we can, if we want to remove the category from the pivot table, we can just click and drag it outside this value. Automatically this category will go away. Another thing we can do here is, suppose I deselect everything and I select these tables, I'll get this view. I'll right click on the table, I'll click on the pivot table options, I'll go to display, I'll select the classic pivot table layout. When I do this, you will see the layout of the pivot table will be different. I'll just select all the categories for our convenience. So you will see the layout of pivot table is different. Now if I don't want subtotal, I can just click on one subtotal. I can just uncheck subtotal month. You will see the subtotal will go away. If I want the subtotal, I can again right click, I can subtotal month, and you will see the subtotal for each month will come here. So this is another convenient way to create a different view of the pivot table. So you can easily slice and dice the information. I can move the category up. So you will see now my pivot table is based on the category. I'll remove the subtotal, so I'll get the category and the month. For example, for decoration, I'll get in the month of February I spent $1,500, March $3,500. So for each category, for each month, I'll see the expenses. So you can choose the way you want to create the pivot table, and you can create from simple to complex pivot table and you can just play around and create the visibility of the data the way you want, and it will definitely help you in making the critical decisions. So I hope this was useful to you. So in my next video I'm going to cover how to create the pivot charts based on the pivot table, which also is very easy and it is very useful to learn. Thank you very much.